on top of that then, so in order to keep sort of Football Manager engaging to the masses with each new release, how do you go about introducing new features to the game, if any? So, do you talk to the managers to get an authentic experience, or do you have your own in-house statisticians to harvest the data used for the player ratings, that sort of stuff? So what sort of features do you guys look at, and what do you work on?
That's a really good question. We tend to look at what's happening in real life football. So that's the barometer from the start. We have what we call foot talks, which are internal talks with professionals within the industry. So that can be anything from managers. We've probably had 4 Premier League managers doing that over the last 12 months, but we'll have loan pathway managers, we'll have directors of football, we'll have academy directors, we'll have head of youth, so scouts. We'll look at everything in that area, and I think that's very, very important. Particularly, you look at clubs now, and it's something that's been done in Germany for a long time. They're looking at player pathways and player development profiles, whereas I think some of the more progressive clubs have now gone down that route in a big way in England. So that's something that we do. We're always adding to the research team. So I think we have over 1,500 scouts globally now in probably between 50 and 60 countries. So the boots on the ground are significant. Obviously, a lot of those people will be going to games, day in, day out. So this period has made it more difficult for them to evaluate players and to do all of that. So we've had to look at some of the video technology platforms and look at different ways to consume the game. But luckily, a lot of them actually work in professional football, and they might work for some of the gambling companies, etc. So they have access to games. So a lot of them would be professional scouts in real life, so they can still go. But yeah, that process is ongoing, and it's very democratic. So anyone in the studio can suggest a new feature, and it will be voted on. And we now have a pipeline where we will actually be looking at features further down the line. So it wouldn't necessarily be for the forthcoming game. It might be for the game after that in terms of development. So it's something that we try to stay on top of. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's really interesting and brilliant to get the insights from professionals within the industry as to what's going on.